Everyone loves a good dose of weird and fascinating facts to spice up conversations. So here's a collection of mind-boggling and quirky information that will surely pique your interest and make you go, wow. Let's start off with the animal kingdom. Number 1. A 155-year-old mouse trap. A 155-year-old mouse trap successfully caught a mouse in 2016. The 155-year-old device on display at England's Museum of English Rural Life managed to catch a mouse that snuck into it in 2016. Even without bait, the mouse entered the trap attempting to build a nest and ended up activating its seesaw mechanism. Sadly, the rodent didn't survive. Number 2. The fuller of fridge. The more energy efficient it is an empty fridge, not only makes it more difficult to decide what to snack on, but it also wastes valuable energy. It works like this. The more empty space in the fridge, the more cold air is displaced by warm air. When you open the door, requiring the appliance to generate cool air to replace it. If the fridge is packed, less cool air escapes and less energy is required to replenish it. Number 3. There's a reason we want to squeeze cute things. Puppies and babies. Don't you just want to love them and squeeze them and cuddle with them? Well, apparently, that's a natural reaction, and it's known as cute aggression. According to an article in the Frontiers in Behavioral Neuroscience, the idea behind cute aggression is that when we're overcome with positive feelings like those elicited by an adorable puppy or baby, a tad bit of aggression balances out those overwhelming feelings so that we don't harm innocent little beings. Number 4. Your eyes don't like red and blue. The combination of red and blue together can form an optical illusion, which makes something appear closer or farther than it really is. In fact, the early 3D effects were created by exploiting this illusion. However, this color combination is very hard on the eyes. It fatigues them. Just take a long, hard look at the American flag, for example. Number 5. There's a Lego bridge in Germany that you can walk across. The German town of Wuppertal is home to Lego Bricke, also known as Lego Bridge. A bridge that looks like it's made of candy-colored Lego bricks, providing a foot and bikeway for those looking to cross over the street below. Despite appearances, the bridge is not made of giant plastic bricks, however, but concrete, and it was painted to look like the popular building toys by street artist Martin Hewald. Number 6. Spiderwebs were used as bandages in ancient times. So next time you're out of Band-Aids, just head to your attic and grab some webicillin in ancient Greece and Rome. Doctors used spiderwebs to make bandages for their patients. Spiderwebs supposedly have natural antiseptic and antifungal properties, which can help keep wounds clean and prevent infection. It's also said that spiderwebs are rich in vitamin K, which helps promote clotting. Number 7. We unintentionally believe what we want to believe. Confirmation bias is the tendency to interpret facts in a way that confirms what we already believe. This explains why people with certain political views prefer certain news outlets over others. Forget even trying to get Uncle Fred to change his stance on international relations. Not only does confirmation bias lead us to seek out information that agrees with what we already believe, but it also causes us to reject contradictory information. Number 8. You crave the familiar when you're emotionally unstable. Did you know that if you're feeling down or scared, you prefer to surround yourself with things you're familiar with? After a heated argument with your partner or a terrible day at work, if you go to the grocery store, you're more likely to buy brands you are familiar with rather than trying something new. This happens because when you're sad or scared, you feel very vulnerable. So your mind looks for familiar things to latch onto. Number 9. A woman who lost her wedding ring found it 16 years later on a carrot in her garden. A woman in Sweden lost her wedding ring while cooking for Christmas in 1995. She looked everywhere for it and even had her kitchen floor pulled up, hoping she could find it. but she wouldn't see it again until 2012. While gardening 16 years later, the woman found the ring around a carrot that was sprouting in the middle of it. Number 10. You're more likely to get a computer virus from visiting religious sites than adult sites, according to a research firm. Religious websites carry 3 times more malware threats than adult sites. Symantec found that the average number of security threats on religious sites was around 115 compared to adult content sites, which carried around 25. Number 11. You're programmed to most love the music you listened to in high school. Good music triggers the release of dopamine and other feel-good chemicals. "This is my jam," said every teenager at a party at some point ever. The days of high school. Or actually between the ages of 12 and 22, when the importance of everything feels magnified, music included. Studies show that we connect to the music we bonded to during our teenage years more so than we ever will as adults, despite the passage of time. Number 12. You have a maximum social group size. There's only a certain number of relationships that your brain can handle. The truth is that no one can really maintain close relationships with those hundreds or thousands of Facebook friends in reality. According to psychologists, we can only handle between 50 and 150 close bonds. Of course, this doesn't mean that you can't make a lot of acquaintances, but that's all they will ever be. Number 13. The inventor of the Pringles can is now buried in one. In 1966, Frederick Bauer developed the ingenious idea to uniformly stack chips inside a can instead of tossing them in a bag. Bauer was so proud of his invention that he wanted to take it to the grave. Literally, he communicated his burial wishes to his family, and when he died at age 89, his children stopped at Walgreens on the way to the funeral home to buy his burial Pringles can. Number 14. Sunglasses were originally designed for Chinese judges to hide their facial expressions in court. Today, sunglasses serve as protective eyewear, effectively preventing bright sunlight from causing discomfort or damage to our eyes. Of course, they're also a fashion accessory, but sunglasses were originally made out of smoky quartz in 12th century China, where they were used by judges to mask their emotions when they were questioning witnesses. Number 15. Memories are more like pieced together pictures than accurate snapshots. False memories are something that you recall in your mind but aren't actually true, either in whole or in part. An example could be believing you started the dishwasher before you left for work when you really didn't. This is because our brains can sometimes inaccurately fill in the blanks when it only remembers the gist of what happened. Number 16. You read faster, with longer lines, but prefer shorter ones. Believe it or not, you can actually read text with longer lines faster than ones with narrower columns. Quite surprising, isn't it? Many people believe they read narrower columns faster, but that's only because the eyes prefer narrower columns visually. Number 17. Cotton candy was invented by a dentist. Dentist William Morrison and confectioner John C. Wharton invented machine-spun cotton candy in 1897. It was first introduced at the 1904 World's Fair as fairy floss. Then another dentist, Joseph Lasco, reinvented the machine in 1921. He came up with the name cotton candy, which replaced fairy floss. Number 18. Shakespeare's epitaph contains a curse for grave robbers. When William Shakespeare died at 52 years old on April 23, 1616, he was buried in a tomb that featured an epitaph meant to ward off grave robbers. Good friend, for Jesus' sake, forbear to dig the dust enclosed here. Blessed be the man that spares these stones, and cursed be he that moves my bone. Number 19. We look for human faces, even in inanimate objects. Pareidolia is the tendency to perceive specific, often meaningful images, such as faces, in random or ambiguous visual patterns. A common example is the man in the moon. Some scientists attribute it to the fact that, as social beings, recognizing faces is so important that we'd rather create one where it doesn't exist than miss a real one that does. Number 20. Finally, let's end with something out of this world. Saturn, the sixth planet from the Sun, has a fascinating feature known as the hexagon. This hexagonal cloud pattern, located at Saturn's North Pole, was discovered by a NASA's Voyager spacecraft in the 1980s. This unique and extraordinary phenomenon remains a mystery baffling scientists and captivating space enthusiasts around the globe. So there you have it, a collection of weird and wonderful facts that will surely leave you amazed, whether it's the quirks of animals, intriguing historical tales, or mind-boggling natural phenomena. The world is full of captivating and extraordinary things just waiting to be explored.